I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support.
Hey y'all, it's Kate from the Literary Apothecary and welcome back to my channel. Today, get ready for a gush fest. Today we're talking about Buzzard's Bull by John Palladino. This is book 2 in the Tragedy of Cedain series, and this book comes out tomorrow, June 1st, so be prepared to spend your money on this series. If you don't have book 1 yet, go and get book 1, read it, get book 2 while you're at it, because you're going to want to go right into book 2 after you finish book 1. But today we're talking about book 2. I got the arc from John Palladino himself before it was released, and I knew I was going to love it, but I didn't know I was going to love it this much. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I was absolutely amazed by it, and I'll talk about all of the reasons why I'm gushing about this in just a minute. But first, a spoiler-free summary of book 2 in the Tragedy of Cedain series, Buzzard's Bull by John Palladino. So this book picks up almost directly after book 1, The Trials of Ashmount, maybe even directly after it. I'd have to go back and compare the ending of book 1 and the beginning of book 2, but so close that it's basically right after book 1. Cedain continues to collapse. Ashmount's destruction shatters the Magicae while the culprits responsible continue sabotaging the world. All the while, the next season of Buzzard's Bull begins. Death is assured to all who walk in the world. The only unknown is when they will perish. And one of my favorite quotes, I've had several, I just filled up a whole sheet full of quotes from this book, but one that won't be spoiler filled because it doesn't have any character names or certain actions. But just completely stood out to me wow, this is an amazing quote, was, "Throughout life, we'll encounter many regrets, but it's not about wishing how we could have altered them. It's about coping with the results we've created for ourselves." And that quote just hit me straight to the core. It was amazing and just a little taste of what's to come in Buzzard's Bull. So, as I said, I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This book is so good, so incredible. I didn't want to stop reading this. Even at one point when I was equally mad and sad, I was crying and I was seething about something that Palladino did, and I can't say what because that'll give away spoilers. And yet completely understood why he did it, and it made 100% sense for the characters that it happened to. I still had to keep reading it. I had 20% left in this book, and I just binged the rest of it straight there. Our characters are developed perfectly in this book. They are developed in a way that they need to be, and nothing extra, just exactly what their character needs. Palladino really dug deep to the core of his characters and their motivations, their ambitions, everything about the core of their character, and pulled that out and dropped it onto the page. It was just so well done. You knew exactly the core of this character when you read it. The plot progressed absolutely perfectly. It made 100% sense what happened, when it happened, why it happened. Even if I didn't like some of what happened, which was true, I did not like some things that happened to some of the characters. It made 100% sense for their characters and the point where the plot was at that time. It was very well paced. There wasn't a time where I felt like, oh my gosh, this is going too slow, I need it to pick up. Or on the other side, this is going way too fast, I need it to slow down. It felt like it was perfectly paced. The characters are perfectly developed. The plot was perfectly developed. Just everything about it. It was like John Palladino took things that could have changed and made the Trials of Ashmount even better and put it all into Buzzard's Bull. And I can't wait to see. I know I said this after the Trials of Ashmount, but after reading book 2, I am stuck in this series. I'm a fan for life. I can't wait to see what happens with the rest of this series, and John Palladino has made me 100% a fan of grimdark. Oh, and if you're reading Buzzard's Bowl and you notice that we have some new characters in this book that we didn't have in book 1, don't worry, because he handles them very well, and we're at some point soon getting a short story collection that will introduce these new characters as well as develop some of our main characters even more. So 5 out of 5 stars to Buzzard's Bowl by John Palladino. If you haven't put your pre-order in yet, go ahead and do so now because you won't regret it. Or if you're watching this after June 1st, go and order this book now because it's just released June 1st and you are going to want to read this series. This was so well done. So yeah, 5 out of 5 stars to Buzzard's Bowl. I am a huge John Palladino cheerleader now. I will sing his praise every time I read his books. You are going to hear this name come up so much in future videos. I can't wait. If you had the arc for Buzzard's Bowl, or you're watching this after you read it, after it came out, let me know in the comments below what you thought of book 2. Did you think it suffered from second book syndrome, or did you love it just as much as I did? If you haven't read Buzzard's Bowl yet, but you've read the Trials of Ashmount, let me know who your favorite character was from Trials of Ashmount. As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below, as well as a link to pick up Buzzard's Bowl. Keep reading, and I love y'all to the moon and back. Bye.